Okay, good evening. I am Stuart McIntosh and will be chairing tonight's meeting. And I am joined, let me make some introductions. This is Janie Regan down here, Charlie Law, John Brown, and Greg Jackno. So all five of us will be voting tonight. For approval, you need majority consent, so you'll need to get three folks to approve the application. Tonight we have one application, 46 Summit Road, Summit Avenue. So who will be presenting? Okay.
Good evening. I'm Erica Ellenberger, the architect for the project. I appreciate everyone being here tonight. Thank you so much. Just to start off, I suppose this is okay, great. I thought I would read through a statement of principal points that outlines the basics of the project and goes through the various points that I know are important to the zoning board regarding our request for an approval. So this is an appeal by Erica Ellenberger, Principal Architect, Erica Ellenberger Architect PC, from the denial of the building inspector in the village of Bronxville, dated October 21st, 2024, and a request for area variances at 46 Summit Avenue related to the proposed west side front yard addition, alteration of the existing front yard bluestone pathway, as well as improvements proposed to the existing one-story sunroom on the south side and the existing open covered porch on the north side. The property is also known and designated on the tax assessment map of the Village of Bronxville as Section 15, Block 1, and Lot 14. The property consists of 9,180 square feet and is located in the northeast corner of Summit Avenue and Tanglewild Avenue. It is in the Residence A district of the village and is improved with a one-family residence, which is currently home to owners Julia and Matthew Vizza. Our project proposes a one-story front yard addition that provides a first-floor powder room, coat closet, and covered entry. The new work includes the alteration of the existing front yard bluestone pathway. These proposed improvements require maximum building coverage and minimum open space requirement area variances as they increase the existing non-conforming status for both zoning standards. Proposed building coverage of 32.5 exceeds the allowable 22.5. The current building coverage is 30.2. The owners seek a variance for 10% over the allowable, which is 2.3% over the existing. Proposed open space is 53.3, which is under the minimum allowable 55%. The current open space is 54.4. The owners for the 1.7 under minimum allowable, 1.7% under minimum allowable, which is 1.1% under the existing. Our project also proposes the existing open covered porch at the north side yard to be enclosed and finished as a new office space. The roof of this existing portion of the structure, along with the roof over the existing one-story sunroom at the south side, are to receive new EPDM material roofings and decorative railings, proposed improvements that would increase existing non-conforming conditions as these portions of the building are within side yard setbacks. The owners seek a variance for these improvements. Additional work includes replacing the existing stucco finish at the sunroom exterior with new clapboard siding to match existing, the alteration of the existing back entry to include a new door and window, and new living room windows towards the rear yard. We also propose new planting beds alongside the exterior at the rear of the property and the repaving of the existing asphalt driveway. The owners have hired Hudson Engineering to assist with a stormwater plan to address the proposed improvements. I respect that the board, in making their determination, consider the benefits to the owners as weighed against the detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood and community if variances are granted. As to the requested variances, we respectfully submit the following. Item 1, the grant of the variances will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood nor a detrimental effect on the neighboring properties. It is the owner's intent to create a more congruent and cohesive architectural exterior with the proposed design. Materials such as clapboard siding, double-hung windows, and louvered wooden shutters are to match existing and seek to create a more attractive and welcoming facade, enhancing the visual appeal of the property for surrounding neighbors. The proposed improvements, such as the decorative wood railings, are intended to work with the existing Dutch colonial home's unobtrusive presence to provide understated detail and tie the north, south, and central body of the house together. If we could forward to the exteriors. These are the new railings we're proposing on the side, the enclosure of this porch, the railings over here as well, and then the use of clapboard as a finished material on either end to tie it in. And then our addition proposed here, also unifying with a railing and still trying to stay within the scale of this home, which has, kind of this characteristic gambrel style roof, which has, kind of a, as I said, an unobtrusive presence. The addition is designed well within the front yard setback, maintaining a comfortable relationship between pedestrians and the building along the streetscape. 2, the benefits sought by the applicant cannot be achieved by any feasible method other than the requested area variance. If we could go back to the floor plan of the first floor. Unfortunately, the first floor plan does not lend itself to a straightforward interior alteration that would allow for a powder room and coat closet to provide an alternative to variances. Similarly, the existing covered open porch offered the only existing first floor space, which is this here, that could provide dedicated office use that did not involve expanding the building footprint or take away from valuable family spaces such as the living room and sunroom, which are here and here. In addition, the proposed re-roofing and decorative railing side yard improvements look to enhance and unify the home's appearance, tying 2 wings into the body of the primary structure's architecture. The intent to improve the appearance of the north and south one-story structures, here and here, requires us to request a variance to work on the existing building areas due to the setbacks and non-conforming position of the structure on the property. 3, the requested variance is not substantial. The proposed area variances are not substantial in that the proposed improvements only increase the existing non-conforming building coverage a total of 213 square feet, or 2.3% over the existing. The relative decrease in open space is 1.1% from the existing. Of the 213 square foot net increase in building coverage, 205.1 is new one-story building. So this is the space of the columns and the closet and the powder room in the hall, with only 125.5 square feet of that area new conditioned interior space. So just saying, we're only having 125 square feet of actual solid volume. The proposed side yard improvements are to existing structures with no increase in footprints or change in roof volumes. So we're just looking to provide railings here, not change the roof form in any way. Likewise here, we're adding a railing to an existing flat roof. 4, the requested variance will not have adverse effects or impacts on either the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. The requested variance will not have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions of the neighborhood, but rather the new work engages the opportunity to better control and manage stormwater on site, overall improving how the property manages rainwater. The owners have hired Hudson Engineering to provide a stormwater plan, designing dry wells to store water from the building and site rather than letting it flow beyond to to the neighboring properties. 5, the necessity for the proposed variance is not self-created. The variance is not self-created as currently the residence does not have a first-floor powder room, coat closet, or covered entry, all spaces that would significantly increase day-to-day functionality for a young family. The enclosure of the existing northern covered open porch will provide the owners with a dedicated office space, critical for flexibility to work from home within a structural footprint that is currently underutilized. While the new north and south one-story re-roofings and decorative railings seek to provide maintenance to the existing structures while looking to take the opportunity to enhance the overall aesthetics of the exterior. Part of this project of this roofing will be to actually add a gutter to this structure, which really doesn't exist currently. So, we're kind of taking on the responsibility of our own property water here to, in that re-roofing, take care of that as well. In conclusion, we respectfully submit that the benefits to the owners outweigh any potential detriment to the community. We appreciate your consideration and request that the zoning board grant the requested area variances. If, it may be helpful to progress to some of the photographs to see some of the existing conditions. So here is that open covered porch currently we wish to enclose. Here is that sunroom. This is another view of the sunroom from Tanglewild. We could see currently it's a, defined by kind of a heavy monolithic stucco structure with these decorative rafter ties coming out. Here's another view coming down from Tanglewild towards Summit of that sunroom. Just for reference, the properties on this corner, we have 2 letters of support from the neighboring property closest to the sunroom, 50 Summit, and then the neighbor on the left at 42. And just to note, we have Iona College at the rear here. I think there might be one more sheet of photos.
How many people did you notify?
So we notify.
There was no list. Usually there's a
Yeah,
list.
there is.
There is a list.
There is?
a
I didn't
list.
see it. Okay. Oh, you got it? And I
Yeah, we
didn't?
got it.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah, there's all the things.
Discriminatory, Christina.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay,
A
that's
lot.
fine.
You know what it is? It's in the back of this packet. It might be in yours and you didn't see it, so.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Do you have to notify?
So I think there were,
But they don't. Okay.
and we originally sent one out to Concordia because that was on the listing, and then we did send another one out to the correct address.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we
For some reason I didn't see it or didn't get it.
informed us that they, some of the different names.
Quick 2 questions. Number 1, what you're adding is you're only increasing your square footage by 200 square feet, is that correct? Because and I understand for zoning purposes that there's a different category for this porch that's being enclosed, but that's there already, and you're just putting walls and windows on it, right? And then the one on the other side, it sounds like you're just putting a window on it, or, that.
Roof
A
and,
sunroom. Well, a roof.
Yeah, the
there's
sunroom,
already a
we just
roof.
want to change the appearance.
Yes, right, but you're
Yes.
not adding square feet
No
to
adding,
those
no,
sides. That's
correct.
the
On the
point.
2 sides, we're not adding, and in the front, we don't have a setback issue, but we have a coverage issue, and
Right,
our-
yeah.
Our net new coverage is the 213, and that includes.
In the front.
In the front, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That includes like the net change in our pathway, because we're just simply redoing the pathway to meet. And then the new internal space, there's a small amount of covered area, and then we have 2 steps.
Okay. Is that pathway changing in terms of permeable versus non-permeable? See, water's a big issue in this town. And I understand that you're dealing with the stormwater issue, but, you know, if we were changing from, let's say, bluestone to asphalt or something like that, that might be a, you know, consideration. But what are we considering here?
So currently, I guess the best shot maybe is this. Currently, it's bluestone. We were going to maintain the bluestone, and really, the primary driver in touching this is to kind of work with our addition. When it comes out, we're going to have to work with the new grades to meet this path. So there's areas where this pathway needs to be repaired, but the intent is to keep the material.
You're doing what you,
Yeah,
already.
in the backyard, well, I say the backyard, at the rear of the property, we have a driveway that we're gonna, you know, currently it is asphalt. The intent is to repave this material, but there are portions where we're looking to soften against the house and do some planting beds. My understanding is, it seems like the approach might be with stormwater. It's less about kind of offsetting some of the impervious with some of the permeable or garden beds, and more about responsibly handling all your volume for, you know, these really significant storms. So, you know, that's 100% our consideration. Normally, our approach would always be handle stormwater, but on top of that, the village's approach now is very serious, which is why we're working with Hudson, which is, you know, I consider experts in the field as far as making sure that we're handling everything properly.
Okay, one other question. Sorry, I don't mean to dominate the questioning here. And this is not strictly related to the variance itself. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine in this town. What, the materials that you're using, you say you're using clapboard, so they wood?
Wood siding, so we want to, currently in this, you can see kind of in these two views. The
Yeah, I
sunroom.
was over there today, so I
Oh, okay, so yeah, we want to match the existing central body of the house, which is this clapboard. We want to, we're looking to match these louvered shutters. There's a company that we would be working with, Timberlane. And, you know, even down to like the little evergreen cutout detail, you know, those are all things that we want to carry through to the two sides.
Yeah, okay, I'm just thinking, you know, wood, and you mentioned gutters, are they using copper, or are you using some other material?
So for the gutters, we would match the existing, which are aluminum white type K. The intent would be to tie in and match.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah, if you're trying to match them,
Yeah.
that's one thing, okay. Again, not relevant to the variance, it's just, it's an aesthetic.
right.
Do you currently get water? I mean, flooding like most of us?
Yeah, certainly. When it rains, because of the slope that we're on.
Yeah.
I mean, it races down
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we were on Summit
It's a,
for years, and, yeah, we got water.
it's honestly one of the most, from my perspective, somebody who worries a lot, it's like one of the most exciting aspects of this project, because the Hudson engineering aspect here will protect the property, which means a lot.
And Summit is downhill, it's, you know, it's.
Yeah, we're about halfway.
Everywhere.
across Angela.
Right.
Yeah, we're relying on the
I
hill.
know. Okay.
No, I just had a question maybe for Kevin. Is there an issue if variance is granted as far as curb permits or something? Yeah. No, something you mentioned here about street openings and curb cut permits may be required.
Yeah, if they're replacing anything in the village right of way on their driveway, so she's talking about possibly like redoing something in that driveway.
Yes,
It's called a street opening permit, but it's just if they're doing work in the village.
that's not an issue here, though. Okay.
But that's, their driveway goes from their driveway goes in from Tanglewild, right?
Correct,
Yeah.
yeah.
So maybe Tanglewild's a different road than Summit
Everybody has a certain
jurisdiction?
amount of feet of their property that's all considered
Oh, so if you're widening
Goes
it
out to the
or
road.
something, okay.
Let's say they wanted to put a apron there, they would need to file for a street opening permit. It sounds funny, but
Separate
It's
issue.
already open, yeah.
they would get a building permit for their private property.
Right.
So there's no issue here with that? Okay, thank you.
We anticipate, so there's currently 2 drains in the driveway, so we 100% know that we're responsible for taking on the additions, rainwater, and like I was mentioning, and this sunroom, it doesn't have gutters on it. We want to grab that water, the water over here as well, we'll have new leaders. I think we're probably going to end up taking and controlling all the water on site from the whole structure, and there's currently those 2 drains on the driveway. We're doing a new coat of asphalt on the driveway, so we'll be engaging, you know, the whole area of the driveway. There's probably going to be some, PVC piping and drainage that's going to be maneuvering from the back over to the dry wells. That's what we asked them to look at as well, yeah. Part of it is kind of having an understanding after the full test, how many dry wells, you know, how does it all relate to cost? But, you know, as Matt mentioned, it's a big concern. The driveways where we have water coming downhill towards the property. So that managing that is important.
And you currently have no bathroom on the ground floor, right? Yeah, just upstairs? Just 2, yeah.
Okay. So the current house, the facade of the house is flush. So you're putting on this foyer and porch. It looks like it's 16 feet wide, coming out 12 and a half, 13 feet. So it's quite a large addition, maybe not from a square footage. So I'm interested in, and you're putting in a railing and there's a roof line there. So I guess the question is, from an aesthetic standpoint, talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, part of the design, maybe we could go back to the exterior elevation view. Maybe one towards, yes, this one. So in the design of this structure, we're looking to really break down and have, some formality with it, of this volume with the columns in the front, providing this, the benefit of having an area where in the rain you could kind of get out your keys and kind of with your groceries, but also coming out of that whole portion, only 7 feet is solid, and we'll still have, this space below that provides a sense of, hopefully, lightness in the front. And then the scale of this railing isn't a true 36-inch high railing that you'd have if you had to provide a railing for, life safety code reasons.
Right.
It's strictly decorative. I think I might have a dimension on it, I just can't read it, but the intention is to make it, make the addition attractive and appealing, but also be considerate to the scale in that way.
You won't be accessing either of those flat roofs?
No.
They're decorative, all 3 of them.
So
Okay.
we're 6 inches lower than what you would have like a standard railing, whereby you need actual fall protection.
And do you have to cut into the roof line behind that or not?
Yeah, so if you go forward one more, actually the other direction, I'm sorry. You see this roof plan? Here's my gutter line.
Right?
This EPDM roof is tied and flashed into this line here, and our gutter line is just slightly higher coming around. And then our railings also will tie in, so you really don't see, you don't have an actual, something like that you would never see, especially down from Summit or Tanglewild, kind of looking up.
Okay. And landscaping, any plans on landscaping or re-landscaping the front?
Yes, Landscaping is probably something that the owners could speak to, but that's a very important aspect of the project, and they're very anxious to, I think, address that and beautify the home and,
Yeah, I think we're really lucky that we do have such a large front yard, and so that, maintaining a nice look up there is important to us. And we plan on engaging our existing landscaping company to help us build a plan to maintain that.
Yeah, we work with Felix Panzarella, and he now has a landscape architect on staff, so they were gonna work with us to make a design specifically for themselves.
Jane, you have anything?
No, I'm good. I don't
Rick?
have any more questions.
Okay, well, I don't see anyone from the public to ask. Okay, well then, let's see here. Okay, let me propose a resolution that the Zoning Board of Appeals grant to the residents of 46 Summit Avenue the following variance. Three. Number one, Section 310-10D2. Two side yard setback variances are required. Improvements proposed to the existing one-story sunroom on the south side and to the existing open porch on the north side of the residence. Such improvements do not increase an existing non-conforming condition. Number two, Section 310-10E, a building coverage is required. The maximum building coverage allowable for the subject property is 22.5%. The current building coverage is 30.2%, existing non-conforming. The applicant is proposing to increase the building coverage to 32.5%. Number three, Section 310-10H, an open space variance is required. Minimum open space allowable is 55%. The current open space is 54.4, existing non-conforming. The open space in the proposed condition is 53.3, requiring a variance. Janie, let's start with you.
Okay, I vote in favor of the variance. I think your benefit detriment test clearly outweighs, the benefit to you to get this powder room is massive. And your yard is big enough that even if this is a bit, looks like it's projecting forward, it won't look that big at all. And as far as, the non-conforming pre-existing things, it's so small what you're doing, so it's all great. I approve of it.
Greg, your thoughts?
I agree, also approve.
Okay. Charlie?
I believe it's not substantial. It's going to be architecturally pleasing, and so I'd vote in favor, yeah.
Okay. John?
Yeah, I think it's the application is a benefit to the homeowners, and I don't think it will have an adverse effect on the nearby properties or an adverse impact on the neighborhood. And I also think it's insubstantial, and I wish them a lot of luck, and I'm voting in favor of it.
Okay. Okay, and I agree with my colleagues, so variances are hereby granted. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, and that concludes tonight's meeting. Thank you.